Hello quilters! Well, I'm ready to start my hand embroidery of my snowman. So I'm starting with a 22-inch length of floss, just one strand at this point. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to double that over so that I, in essence, have two strands I'm working with. This is the way I like to. I actually have to take off my glasses so I can see what I'm doing to thread my needle. So I'm going to thread my needle, and then that gives me a nice loop here on the end when I double it over. So what I'm going to do, and I don't use a hoop for my hand embroidery, I still have the stabilizer on the back of my piece from when I did the applique, so that's all I need, and I just prefer working without a hoop. Okay, I'm going to stick my needle up. For me, my stitches, I tend to do about 1/8 of an inch stitch on these little pieces, and so my needle's going to come up about 1/8 of an inch from the edge of my piece, and I'm going to pull it part way through but not all the way through, and go back down on the other side, and I'm going to flip over here, and this is why I like to double over the piece. I'm going to put it through the loop that was formed and pull it tight, and then I have secured the thread in place without having to make a knot. If I can avoid a knot on a piece, I prefer that. So that's how I start, and I'm going to move about 1/8 of an inch because that's how long I'm doing my stitches from where I started and back in. So this is how we do the back stitch, which is what we'll be using when we do the little vines on the snowman and the mouth, and also I use it to outline before I do my satin stitch. So this is how we do our back stitch. Have a little bit of a stem here, so I'm just going to actually go the length of my stem, then bring it back to my main vine. I used to do a lot of hand embroidery when I was in high school and college days, and for some reason got away from it when I started quilting. And about I guess it's been about 2 years ago now, when I was doing the Splendid Sampler sew along with Pat Sloan and Jane Davidson, which was a great experience, and I'm happy to see they're doing Splendid Sampler 2 starting soon. Anyway, there were a lot of quilters there who were adding hand embroidery details and applique to their blocks that was just made them just stunningly beautiful, really, and cute, and all the details they added. And so I decided it was time to pick up my needle and start playing with hand embroidery again. It does add some nice touches to our work. I'm just going to continue along with my back stitch here. I like hand embroidery too, because when I've come to a point in the project where I can take it and sit at the doctor's office while I'm waiting for somebody, or off on a camping trip, and it's just something I can do that I find relaxing. Do this last little stem part here. Now sometimes when I have like this stem is a little bit longer, I'll show you what I sometimes do on the back side after I do this stitch. I wouldn't be traveling too far if I were to just come up here and pop through. But when I'm using, especially when I'm using darker threads, this is a very dark green, what I like to sometimes do then is flip my piece over, and then I will just, like I said, this one doesn't matter too much, but I'll just show you, and then I'll weave it back through those stitches like that, so that then my next stitch is going to be here instead of coming across like that. So that, especially when I'm working with these lighter fabrics like the Snowmen, then I don't have a dark thread, chance of a dark thread showing through. So that's just one of my little tricks I like to do. Let's see if I can get you straightened up into camera here again. Okay, we're getting close to the finish line here. And I'll show you how I finish off my pieces. My hands have gotten a little sweaty, the one holding the needle. So I haven't dried off. Must be because I'm nervous showing you on a video what I do. Nice thing about the age that we live in is you can just Google how to do something, and there are lots of helps for learning how to do these different stitches. I've made it to the end, but I came by without doing that little bit of a stem there, so I'm going to have to go back and get that stem. So I'll run it back through my stitches. Do my stem. And to finish off, again, flip my piece over and run it through. If I had done it here, I'd just run it through that last stitch. But I run it through the stitches. And then see, I've got this little loop here again. So I'm going to put my needle through the loop and pull that. And I'll just do that a couple times. And that fastens my stitches so they do not come loose. Trim that with a little thread. Alright, and there we're going along with our snowman. So I'm going to do the back stitching on the mouth, and then I'll come back and show you how to do the French knots. So have fun with your hand embroidery. May you find peace doing it, and happy quilting.